This is something I haven't said anything to or about it with anyone. I feel like I just needed to get this off my chest because what happened with this conversation that I had with this Uber driver was just unreal, and to this day it still bothers me. So I just wanted to kind of share what happened. Anywho, my truck broke down a couple weeks ago, and I had to take several Uber rides and even an air ride from Portland to Seattle to get me back on a new truck to keep working. My last Uber ride was the most crucial ride I had, and I honestly hope that Uber had seen this video and how this guy reacted to what we were talking about while I was in this ride. The conversation was this: that kids today are fighting too hard for minimum wage to go up because they cannot afford to leave mom and dad's home to pay for housing. I responded with this. So I didn't think it was fair that lower class jobs should be raising up minimum wage because kids today who are trying to fight for it don't have enough experience in the world to be fighting for a $20 hour position 40 hours a week. He responded with, okay, so what you're saying is that the kids have to stay with mom and dad until they can afford to be able to pay their own housing and rent. I said, I'm not up for this because, look, these kids are going to school, maybe college, doing, full-time, maybe part-time, and then looking for a job to suffice some income. But ultimately, what skill do they bring to the world that is going to pay them $20 an hour just because they think they deserve a $20 an hour job? And I also said, too, if your kids are not leaving your house, you are not teaching them to go out and make something of themselves. I told him, look, granted, I stayed with my parents for a couple more years after I graduated, but I made this decision to do something greater with my life, and that was to be able to work, and I did that, and I joined the military, and now I'm a dad who also has to provide. You're a dad enabling your kids to not do something greater with their lives. You need to push them. He said, okay, so what about the adults who are in lower class jobs, working at McDonald's? You don't think they should get a higher wage? I said, no, because two, this is America. You can make as much money as you want. It's severely on how you want to go about achieving it. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to put a lot of effort. A lot of effort. That comes with hard work. And if you don't want to make as much money, but you're sitting there complaining because you're at a $12 an hour job flipping burgers at McDonald's, thinking, oh, I deserve more because I'm flipping burgers at McDonald's. Hello? Is that a skill? If you're happy with flipping burgers for $12 an hour and you want to make it a career, by all means, make it a career. But don't sit there and complain that you're making $12 an hour and think that it's a job that is really beneficial to this world. And three, you're a dad. You are old enough that you should know that you don't have to be an Uber driver. You can make more money. Go to a trade school. It's not too late. You're 54 years old. What are you doing being an Uber driver and complaining to your passengers that you don't make enough money? This is why your kids stay at home with you. Because you don't teach them that there are trade schools that pay more than what you're doing. I told them this is a lot on the education system too, that they're not teaching, is because they're all pushing every student to go to college. Like, this is some important business that they gotta do because college is so important. I told him several times, I was being friendly, giggled at some of the stuff that he said. I didn't want this to turn out to be a debate, but it ended up being a political debate. And at the end of the ride, he was cursing me out, calling me the F word, and calling me the C word from Australia that nobody likes to hear. I told him I get it, but you don't get to be a 54-year-old man complaining to a 34-year-old kid who makes more money than you to raise the minimum wage up. I also work 70 hours a week, plus on top of that, my weekend warrior drills, and all you got to show is that you're an Uber driver and you're complaining for your kid not to be out of your house. I think it's time for you to be a man and grow up. Go find a better job that pays more. Get into a trade school that will get you a job that pays more. You don't get to sit here, be an Uber driver, and then lecture your passenger and then call your passenger an effing C word. I'm sorry, but you are not teaching your son to do any better for himself. Anywho, I get out the door. I kind of slammed it in retaliation. He continues to scream at me. F you. You're an effing piece of, S word, and you're an effing C word. So he blasts out of our Tacoma Yard terminal, screaming out his window that the whole entire time. So my message to anyone hearing this, if you are struggling to make more money, I think it's time for you to do some research, because there's tons of jobs that you can get that you don't have to go to school with. And it is just absolutely unreal how this guy was not open-minded. He was so shut. He was not listening to what I had to say, and did not like the fact that I didn't agree with him on raising the minimum wage, which made it more harder for him to live, because his kids were still under his roof, because his kids couldn't afford housing or rent. Like I said, this is America. If you want to be wealthy, you obviously got to work hard for it. There's an abundance of how much you can make, or as little as you can make, but not complaining about it isn't going to get you where you want to be.